27 years of watching the market. I can tell you, free from successful contradiction, there is one way that you can increase your trading performance by at least 5 times. And I'll tell you that that's a conservative estimate. 5 times or more by doing one thing. I'll share with you what that one thing is, but also tell you that it's going to be a very difficult thing to do because most people aren't willing to do it. Look, 27 years of watching the market, I know what it's like to have a portfolio of $30,000 and to make $12,000, $15,000, $18,000 in profits in a single week. You're talking about 5 trading days. To have a portfolio of $25,000, $26,000 and to make $35,000 or $44,000 in a single month simply by flipping stocks. I know what I'm talking about. And that's why I can say successfully here, the way for you to increase your trading performance by 5 times or more is to use one thing in 3 areas. That one thing is patience. Oh, Jay, I was looking for something specific here. Oh, yeah, it's specific. Use patience in learning how to use the stock market. Patience for learning how to flip these stocks on a daily basis. Most people don't exercise patience in learning. As a result, they make mistakes that are horrific. The emails that I get from individuals across the country, and again, I'm speaking to millions of people a week in my radio interviews across the country. The emails I receive, the phone calls I receive, the letters and the cards and the postcards I receive that recap some of the mistakes that people make are almost too impossible to believe. Most of the time, the majority of the time, it stems from somebody jumping into the market in an impatient fashion. They read a book, they read something online, they take their online portfolio, they start trading, and they make mistake after mistake after mistake. They did not exercise patience in learning how to use the stock market as an incredible revenue machine. One of the reasons the Day Trade Fund course is over a 12-month period of time is because we learn a lot and we learn it slowly as we go. Yes, you're making live trades in a matter of weeks, but we're spending a great deal of time learning how to maximize your potential within the market over an extended period of time, constantly reinforcing past trading skills. And if you don't take the time to learn, you're never going to earn significant profits on Wall Street. Prove me wrong if you want, but I can tell you based on the averages that I've seen, most people that jump into the market without a proven system to follow, without exercising patience and learning, lose money 90% of the time or more. The second thing you need to do is exercise patience in buying these stocks. You have a very specific criteria on when you will engage certain stocks at certain times of the day. And if you see 5 or 6 stocks that are coming your way and you have your very specific entry-level prices established, exercise patience in waiting to buy those shares. There's a thing called behavioral economics where we basically have a study of what happens when people are watching the market. They know what to do, but they don't do it. They know what not to do, and they do that anyways. But if you can discipline yourself, and this is something I work constantly with our students on how to be patient on the buying side, some incredible profits can be made. But that's only part of the equation. Yes, you've been patient in learning how to use the market. You forced yourself to be patient on buying shares at a specific price. But now the third component that will allow you to increase your trading performance by 5 times or more, and again, that's conservative estimate on my part, is you need to exercise patience in selling. Far too often I have students, and I have trained students for the last decade plus using myself for the last 27 years as I've flipped more stocks than I can count, is exercising the patience once you've grabbed a stock where you want it. And you've bought a stock and you said, this stock should give me approximately a 10 or 11% gain. You put your $7,000 or $8,000 on there, you're looking for a $700 or $800 profit. You recognize that's what the rules say based on where you bought it. And all you have to do is keep your hands off the wheel, let the stock increase to the point that you have established. You have your exit strategy established where you're going to sell the stock at a specific point. You're going to exit with a $700 or $800 gain, which represents a 10% or better profit for your hard work. But you see the stock going up and you're up $200. Gosh, it's just, your fingers start to twitch and you think, gosh, now it's up to 375. Oh my gosh. Now it's up 400. I've got to sell at 400. Well, if you do, the problem is you're cutting your profits in half because you're not exercising the patience that's required to allow the stock to recover to the point that the rules say 80% of the time or better is what's going to happen. The stock will jump up to $450. It comes down to $395. It hovers there a bit. And of course, the idea is that you establish your exit strategy, you set the order, then you go back looking for other stocks of interest. But that's not normally what happens. You buy the stock and then all of a sudden it captures your attention. That's all you see. And you're watching every little tick and every little buy and sell and every price fluctuation, and your blood pressure goes up or down based on which way the stock is going. The experienced trader who trusts their system buys the stock at a certain point, they set their exit strategy, and then they simply go looking for other stocks because they recognize if their attention is here and not here, that they might miss out on 4 or 5 other opportunities where they can make another $500, $600, $700 per stock if their attention is not guarded. So you have to, yes, be very patient learning how to use the stock market. You have to be very patient in buying a stock, but then you have to be just as patient on the selling side. Otherwise, you're going to find that you're going to sell the stock as you change your plan of attack, your predetermined non-emotional plan of attack. You're allowing the market conditions to change what you're doing. You escape with a $395 profit. Any profit on Wall Street is good. And you feel pretty good about yourself until 43 minutes later, boom, up the stock goes. Right to and past the point you knew it was going to go. And now you beat yourself up because of the fact that you allowed the emotion of the moment to change what you knew to do. So that's why those 3 components are so critical if you're going to learn how to use Wall Street to make a tremendous amount of money. We have students that are using the market spare time that are making $60,000 and $70,000 in the course of a year by working a few hours a week. We have some with larger portfolios of $200,000 to $300,000 that are looking to make $4,000 to $5,000 in a day and more based on utilizing the day trade fund comprehensive stock program. But they also have to make sure that they're exercising patience on the buying and selling side. If you want to learn how to make more money using Wall Street, master those 3. Learn at patience as far as learning how to use the market, and then force yourself to be patient on the buying, and then force yourself to be as patient on the selling side. You will be amazed. You will be astounded at what happens at that point in time. Now, instead of having a bunch of stocks that you have to chase successfully to hit your revenue goal of whatever it might happen to be, you find out by following your rules, and again, rules that you've developed on yourself or rules that you've learned to use with us, and you recognize, gosh, I only need to grab half the stocks in that course of time and allow them to do what they're supposed to do and go from there. Does every stock that we chase at Day Trade Fund turn a profit? No, of course not. But if our batting average remains as it is, 80% or better, and we control our losses on the stocks that don't do exactly what we think, that 80% generates an incredible sum of money. But that's not what I want to talk to you about. I'm wanting to encourage you based on my experience. And believe me, I have been through a lot in the last 27 years on learning how to use the stock market. I lived in a motel room for 10 years developing the system that we use now that creates some incredible profits with an unbelievably high success rate. And that is by learning patience and using it in those 3 areas. And if you're wanting to use these stocks, learn that, and you will make more money than you've ever made before.